And there's a lot of things that go along with it. And of course, relaxation and the companionship and hanging out with friends and just really having a good time. And being able to find out more about how to do it better, what kind of equipment is out there, and finding the best places to go fishing, especially here in the Santa Clarita Valley and surrounding areas. There's the Santa Clarita Casting Club. They will also be participating in the 7th annual KHTS Home and Garden Show coming up April 16th and 17th. Here from the Santa Clarita Casting Club is Dick Harris. Good morning.
Good to see you, George.
I want to talk a little bit about this because it's not just something, there's a win-win here, of course, with fishing. And most people, there is catch release, but a lot of people do it and they come home and they've got something to eat. They got a little dinner, they got something they could store for later, which is a wonderful thing. But we're talking also about just the pastime and lifestyle that goes along with the recreational fishing, right?
Absolutely. It's so much fun. We're a fly fishing club, as
right.
You know, and so yes, you can catch and release. You can keep them, and there's some wonderful waterways in this area that you can get to. The nice thing about the fly fishing, one of the reasons we love our club, is that a lot of traditional fishermen, kind of bait fishermen, people use the plugs and the treble hooks and so forth, at certain points really want to try something different. And the fly fishing gets you much closer to the stream and to the feel of the fish and to the experience itself. So we're just a group, 45 or 50 people, very informal. Santa Clarita Casting Club, and we meet. We have casting clinics at Almendra Park. We have tying classes at the Sports Chalet, and we're thrilled to be at the Arbor Day Garden event because I believe this is our 4th or 5th year there. And the really nice thing about that is that you've got so many different parts of Santa Clarita there that you meet a lot of the things that are going on here that you otherwise wouldn't. We've had a number of new members come in because they visited the club and said, we didn't know there was a Santa Clarita Casting Club in Valencia, so it's great. So
that's outstanding.
Yeah.
Now, for the uninitiated, tell me a little bit what the difference between fly fishing and what traditional fishing would be.
Great question. Actually, I'm going fishing today, actually.
Instead of just wishing.
These are flies.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see these, but traditional fishing is you use a rod and basically put something heavy on the end of that, a plug or a lure, something with metal on it. You throw that thing out and you reel it back in and you catch fish. Nothing wrong with that. Fly fishing is basically a much lighter technique where you're actually casting the line and you have something very small, something a quarter the size of your little fingernail on the end. And what you're doing is you're imitating insects and things in that river and in that stream or on that lake that a fish would like to eat. For instance, in the summer when we go fly fishing, we might put a cricket or a grasshopper out there that had fallen in from the shore, or we might have some larvae or some material at the bottom of the lake that they would like. So it's basically imitating insects. You've heard the term match the hatch. Well, if you can find out what fish are eating. So that being said, to do it right, you got to learn about insects, you got to learn about entomology, you got to learn about what's going on in the ecosystem, so there's a lot of fun stuff here. And then the other part of it, and you look at this crazy little thing here, which has got about 1,000 flies in it.
Wow.
Is we tie our own flies. So we have a group of stalwart, probably 8 or 10 folks, and it's not all guys, women, young people. We got some families in this group that tie their own flies, and then you catch a fish with your own flies. So, and I'll tell you one last thing, I was just thinking of this as I came down, is that a lot of our fly fishing now, George, is surf fishing. So we've got a group that every Friday and Saturday go down to Rincon Beach or Hollywood Beach or Bates down on the shore, and from the basically just where the waves are coming in, you cast out and you go after perch and corbina, again, tying your own flies, but because of the drought, because a lot of water levels are down, the ocean's always there, and we're finding that there's just a huge opportunity to have a lot of fun on the surf. So.
And that's good to know. So you've been fishing your entire life, or is this something you've just and as far as the casting club, how did that come about?
Casting club started about 10 years ago, and it basically started out with people saying, gee, I wish there was someplace around here we could talk fishing. Basically, the three components of the casting club are, and by the way, it's flyfishing.org, if anybody wants to look it up, scflyfishing.org. Three components, and it's really education, conservation, what's the third? Fellowship. So the education is a lot of it's just getting people involved. We have so many people that say, I never knew you were here. That's why we do the Almendra Park casting lessons, because people come on, they've never used a fly rod. We give them a fly rod and they can begin to practice. But it started with education, and we also do a lot of conservation, cleanups on the rivers, just a lot of, work with wardens and different officials trying to keep things going. But the key thing is fellowship. It's just a lot of fun. Are you a fisherman at all?
Not to that degree. I think it's probably been a few decades since I've really cast a rod.
Especially with fly fishing, if you get together, it's fun bantering. It's fun telling the lies. Oh yeah, I caught the 4-pounder. And so a lot of it's fellowship and getting together, and it really has grown a lot over the last several years.
Well, that is outstanding. Of course, you'll be at the 7th Annual KHTS Home and Garden Show. That's Central Park, April 16th and 17th. And what can visitors expect when they come to your booth?
We're going to actually have a giveaway. We've got a float tube, which is a unit that you can use in lakes. It's called a caddis float tube. We're going to raffle that away. We're going to have free tying classes there. And there'll be several members there that will talk to you about the club or talk to anybody who's interested in it. And we're going to invite people to come to the next casting clinic, which will be a special one at Almendra Park in a couple of weeks, in which we'll really use that as an introductory class for anybody who wants to come on and really get the basics of it. I should say that the casting clinic the casting club itself, though, is also for veteran fly fishing. I mean, if you know your stuff, this is a great one because we have a lot of certified instructors. We've got people who can cast a fly a quarter of a mile.
Wow.
And that's exaggerating, but I mean,
you're a fisherman.
I know, but they can really put it out there. So whether you're experienced or new, it's a great place to come. So yeah, drop by the booth. We'd love to see you.
That's scflyfishing.com, correct?
Almost. scflyfishing.org.
Sorry. You are correct. I looked at it right there.
Thanks, George.
That's what happens. scflyfishing.org. You can also check out the Santa Clarita Casting Club at the 7th Annual KHTS Home and Garden Show and talk to Dick Harris, who knows his stuff. Thank you so much for stopping by, and good luck with the event and continued success with the club.
Appreciate it.